The journey. I have always been in the doing. It does sound kind of weird to say that, but it doesn't even really matter what I do as long as it's something I preferably have full control over. Childlike excitement is something I do usually find quite easily. I have always had different types of projects going on, and they have been somewhat art related. But now that I have reached certain skill level, and years have gone by, even less so. Currently, I'm trying to find more ways to implement my art to things and not let them be a project by themselves. For example, I have been thinking of learning coding so I could make a web page where my cute doodles would move around and users could interact with them. That way my art wouldn't just be eye candy, but it would get some level of interactivity. So far I have only found in games. One example of this is also my ghost character. This little guy started from 2D sketch, then I made it 3D, then I did that again because original file got lost, and now we are here. I'm making videos with this silly little guy. There isn't a huge level of interactivity unless I stream games or something else, but as someone said in the Reddit, I think, making videos is like writing letters. You make them so people might read them and respond back to you one day. So here, I wish you to take my letter. Before I start dwelling on new topics and do new things, I usually require to be hit with some level of inspiration, unless I have high enough levels of self-discipline that day. That hit can be, for example, gotten from random internet videos. Fun fact here. Before I was into social media, I used to watch so much more anime, and because of Haikyuu, I started playing volleyball. I think I was around 12 or 14 back then. Recently, I discovered from short-form videos that in third-world countries, it's relatively cheap to go to the tailor and get custom-fit clothing. And after that, I started getting recommended videos where girls and women buy fabrics from the market and sew different kinds of outfits out of them. Those clothes made from scratch usually end up looking so pretty and handmade in a good way. I also just happened to start watching Witch Hat Atelier, and in that anime the main character Coco and their mom run some sort of tailoring shop. So that was plenty enough to make me all excited about making my own clothing and altering store-bought ones. I have yet to make anything from scratch, but my YouTube's recommended page is now full of tailoring videos. And I made myself a space in house's garage that is dedicated now to sewing. Step 1 would be learning to make my own patterns, since I do already know how to operate the sewing machine. And can do some basic hand stitching also. But enough of that interest for now. Let's move on. A little side note about finding inspiration. If you feel stuck, a little change of scenery or disruption of daily routines might help. I am now writing this to you from my parents' sauna building's terrace. I like grabbing my morning coffee and heading here to write. And I can hear the birds and feel the wind on my skin. Just need to have enough clothing on not to freeze. When I'm not moving, it gets cold fast, even though it's summer. One would think that if I get excited easily, also my interest would die down quite quick. I also thought that would be the case, but now when thinking of it more, I don't think it's true. So far, excitement about specific things has maybe changed shape, or how strong interest is changes like a wave moves, but it's still always there in some way. As a kid, I used to enjoy judo, then I stopped, and now as an adult, I'm back in martial arts. This time it's karate. That I, by the way, think is more easy on my older body. It all seems to come around at some point. What changes is only the time it takes and specific form of doing the thing I used to do before. Nothing is original. I have heard that humans can create new faces, meaning every face artist draws is someone's or a combination of multiple people's faces they have seen before. Maybe same thing with my interests. I can't help myself from doing something I haven't in some sort of form done before. Though I also do like to try completely new things. Sadly, I find it harder to do as I grow. It's like my feet get stuck in the mud and it takes great effort to completely change the course. So I just keep dragging myself slowly around the same spot, trying to find some difference in terrain. A moped just went by. When in reality I would need to go much further to feel any bigger change beneath my feet and get unstuck. Brightest flame burns out the fastest. I was super into VTubing and now that spark has dimmed down. Side note, dimmed down, not died, at least yet. And we have moved into maintenance phase. Speaking of my existence here on the internet, I have chosen to stop making my consistent YouTube shorts and would like to focus more on making these essay-like videos. I see myself and people I would like to attract getting way much more out of long form and streaming than from rushed short form content. People from that side of audience usually aren't even the ones to stick around during longer videos. So I see no point in keeping that one up. I'm also going to separate clearer this personal gaming channel, in air quotes, of mine and my art business channel that has the VTubing tutorials on. Latter one is going to become more professional coded, and on here I will continue to yap about pretty much anything and everything. One thing you can count on is that I will always be looking to improve and discover new angles on stuff I do. Not every feedback is equally valued, but is nevertheless always welcomed. Honing your skills is something I would compare to climbing a mountain. It's a long way and I can't really even see the top, but I keep taking steps, putting one foot in front of another and making progress. Some days are way slower and on others I can move quicker. From time to time I even stumble down and after dusting off, I need to get back to it. But I still keep on keeping on, even when very well knowing I might never reach the top. I stop on resting points and take interviews. I can see some people beneath me just starting their own journeys, when other ones are waving at me from their viewpoints that are much higher than mine. Nevertheless, we are all here, giving it our best shot. Luckily, there are ropes and ladders people before me have left to help me on my journey. They didn't know for sure, but had strong belief that someone would come after them to do the same thing they found and might still find so much joy and meaning from. For me, the best parts are when I stumble upon other people on their journeys. We continue together for a bit, psyching each other's up, but that doesn't last forever. We all have our own journeys to go on, but I do hope to keep seeing old friends further along the path. People usually get less and less excited older they grow. You do hate to see it since there is something eternally young about old people who still have that spark in their eyes. I can see and hear when talking to someone if they have sort of given up on doing things. They wake up, go to work, that is usually same type of tasks every weekday. Then when weekend rolls around they might do some house chores, then sit down to watch TV or phone for the rest of their free time before Monday begins again. I do have sympathy for them. It does take great effort to do your hobbies after work and not to crash on sofa, but usually that is what keeps the mind sharp and that spirit burning. I can count with one hand how many times I have thought after gym session or karate practice that it was bad idea to get out of the house and go do my hobbies. Usually those involve some sort of accidents that happened to me, but you can never really be ready for those. Usually I do feel refreshed and proud when I challenge myself and progress in something I love to do. Last part is stay humble. There is so many cool things in life I see people doing and levels to things I'm already doing, it keeps me grounded. But the flip side is, I think I'm never good. I am enough even if I don't do anything. I think by default everyone is enough. But the thing is, I want to be good, not good at something. No, I don't think I deep inside care for that. I can be mediocre in dozens of things and still be okay with that. There is just some sort of concept of that good I have created for myself. I need to be good, and for some reason I can never reach that. So I keep on doing things also in search of that good. There is restlessness found in that. Well, every coin does have its flip side, and satisfaction stops growth. It would be super cool to hear from others their current hobbies or interests. I appreciate it if you are the one to take time to write a comment for me. I will see ya when I see ya, and all the good. See it out.